A, when Tupac Shakur gets his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. I wonder if it's going to be insane pandemonium with a lot of people up there, or if it'll be relatively mellow. It's been a minute since he made his transition. But I have a feeling folks are going to show up because I don't go to nothing and I'm going. I just want to show up for Tupac. You know, he really showed up for me and he sure didn't have to. He showed up for me in a way that still makes a difference to this day. And he most definitely did not have to. And one of the things I liked about the Dear Mama documentary, which hopefully you've seen by now, is the fact that it really shows you, you know, his journey and why he was as conscious as he was and how intentional Tupac was in reaching the community, in reaching our generation, the streets, whatever. And also, he didn't shy away from the idea of being a leader, which really tracks with what my understanding is of his plans when he was murdered to return to the Bay Area, start his own label, and take his rightful place as a leader of the Black Liberation Movement. That is what I understood to be his plan. Might not have been the most profitable plan for some folks that were, well, you know, just making a living off the golden goose that was Tupac. So he may have been worth more dead than alive. That's what I think. And that's as much as I'm going to say about that, because I like to be worth more alive than dead. Rest in peace, Tupac. You are missed every single day. And I'm so excited, even though, you know, Hollywood Walk of Fame star, blah, blah, blah. But it's Tupac. And it's right in front of Amoeba Records in case you want to be part of the throng along with me. Like I don't have any special pass or a Harry Potter broomstick I can fly in on and just land right there on the stage. Well, I'm going to be down there with all the rest of us. Just showing up to honor somebody, an artist and an activist who is important for a reason. Let me put it that way. Important for a reason. We got a lot to talk about today, and I'm looking forward to it. Typically in hour one, we have what I call a partner in politics. Today, it's a little bit more than that. As somebody that knows a lot about something we talk about every day. She's the general manager of the City of Los Angeles Housing Department. That means responsible for direction and oversight of the city's programs for housing preservation, development, accessible housing production, community investment, rent stabilization, code compliance, and more. That before she joined the LA Housing Department, she was vice president of health and housing at the California Community Foundation. So she knows a lot of things about the things we strive to understand every single day. Ann Sewell, good morning. Ms. Sewell, are you there? Perhaps we've lost her. Well, hopefully we will get her back on the phone before this hour, this day is over, because certainly the housing security, stability, and future of Southern California, Los Angeles in particular, are super important topics that we talk about all the time. Oh, okay. So that was my fault. I guess Ann Sewell is not joining us today. She'll be joining us tomorrow. So consider that a really, really good tease for tomorrow's show. Tell a friend if you got questions about housing, homelessness, or the future of where you might choose to live. You want to check with me tomorrow. Today we have someone, we got a lot of interesting folks on today. Today we have someone who is a musician, actually, guitarist, vocalist, and also an activist. She has a Bachelor of Arts in Politics and Culture from the University of California, Santa Cruz, and has got her musical education from Laney College in Oakland and the Musicians Institute in Hollywood, California. Studied digital recording at El Camino College, and now joining us. She is a recipient of the LA County Breathe program. Kip Kalia, good morning.
Dominique, how are you?
I'm blessed. How are you?
I am also blessed. Things are going well.
Okay, well, yeah, it sounds like it. I mean, you're a Breathe recipient, and we'll talk more about what that is. But you are one of the many artists in the Southern California area who make a living however we make a living, right? The hustle, the side hustle, the show, and the after the show. And so the pandemic or the COVID scenario really hit you hard, correct?
It did, but I had already taken a hit a couple of decades ago. I found myself not feeling well, and it turned out eventually it took 10 years to diagnose, but I had picked up some parasites probably while touring. And so I had started teaching guitar and bass and vocals to survive because I couldn't gig and I really could not travel. So I was teaching when COVID hit, and I was also working on the project that is nearest and dearest to my heart right now, which is a show about social justice issues. And basically, I'll educate the audience about different issues, immigration, being a refugee, dealing with gender biases, whatever. And then I'll sing a song that's emotional and personalizes that experience for the audience in a way that, I mean, music gets past barriers in a way that other things are not able to do. So I really use that music. It's kind of like a musical TED Talk. But when COVID hit, I'd been working on that project and at the same time teaching. And by March 15th of 2020, I had lost something like 15 students, and I had one student that wanted to continue online, but nobody else did.
Wow.
And
wow. Hold that thought, Kip Kalia. I want to find out what your pivot was when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
Your health is important, so keep yourself and your family covered with Medi-Cal. Medi-Cal renewals will be happening soon. So if you have Medi-Cal, make sure you don't miss any important renewal information. If you've moved in the last 3 years, check and update your mailing address, email address, and phone number. Learn more at keepmedicalcoverage.org. That's keepmedicalcoverage.org. Paid for by the California Department of Healthcare Services.
Are you a small or micro business owner looking for ways to succeed after the pandemic? LA County has got you covered. Gain access to economic opportunity grants and technical assistance to help your business thrive. Whether you need mentorship or capital investment programs, they're here to help. Find out if you qualify at recovery.lacounty.gov/programs. That's recovery.lacounty.gov/programs. LA County and you, moving forward together.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Maisha Cairo here with a quick recap for my time at JP Morgan Chase's Advancing Black Wealth Tour. There were speakers Ian Dunlap, Damon John, Lynn Richardson, MC Light, Don Kennedy, to name a few. Take a listen to what Justin Grant, Community Development Lead at Chase's Advancing Black Pathway, let's see what he had to say.
So I'm Justin Grant. I lead Community Development and National Partnerships for JP Morgan Chase's Advancing Black Pathway family strategy. And so we're focused on strengthening the economic foundation of Black communities, and we're making targeted investments in programs like the Advancing Black Wealth Tour to help us get our tools and resources out to the community to drive sustained impact over time.
So when it comes to Black and brown people, it sounds like Chase is making it their personal responsibility not only to facilitate these events, but to educate and provide resources. So, Mr. Grant, I have to ask, what does wealth building look like for the individual?
It's home ownership, it's having that freedom to be able to start your own business and create jobs in your community, and it's having that long-term plan towards retirement, having that vision for what you want your life to be, and you have the resources to actually live it.
I'm Aisha Cairo. Thanks for sticking around. That was my recap from Chase's Advancing Black Wealth Tour. First stop was here in LA, and they're taking it national.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be signs that your digestive system isn't working at its best? But taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil supports your daily digestive health using a special plant-based fiber called psyllium. Psyllium works by forming a gel in your digestive system to trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Metamucil's gelling action also helps to promote heart health and slows down sugar absorption to promote healthy blood sugar levels. Start feeling lighter and more energetic by taking Metamucil every day.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DePrima right now.
Okay, so Ann Sewell from LA Housing Department is tomorrow. Sherry Bell, our regular contributor, is Friday. But today we're blessed to be talking with Kip Kalia, musician, Breathe recipient. And she's worked with a lot of different bands you may have heard of. The ska bands Exodus, Sons and Daughters of Jah, the Freedom Fighters Back in Service, Jagwe and the Unknown Band, and the Washington, D.C. based band Black Sheep, and Birmingham, England based band The Reggae Revolution. She's even done some guest work with Third World and the LA Top 40 band Evolution, just to put things in context. So you got Parasites. You kind of pivoted once to doing more private lessons and teaching, right. And also your project, your musical TED Talk project that you were working on. Here comes coronavirus, and you get one student left, and so then what happens?
So the social justice program was the big pivot. After I ended up with that one student who wanted to continue online, I thought, well, I think this is my time to focus on the social justice show. It's going to take me as much work to revive my teaching business as it is going to take to really launch the social justice thing. So I might as well go where my heart is,
right,
and work on the social justice show. And I didn't know, Dominique, I had no idea how I was going to make that work financially. And I just decided I'm going to trust the universe and I'm going to go for it. And a couple years later, I ended up getting the Breathe program stipend, and I was absolutely shocked. I was not expecting when I applied for it to actually get it.
So let's explain what it is and what you did to apply for it.
Okay, so beginning with the application, one of the organizations that is headed by a friend of mine, that's a nonprofit, she had sent in her newsletter something about the Breathe program, and I thought, well, let me look that up. And basically the prompts got me to actually apply. It's like you go in and you say, okay, I'll give them my email address, and then next thing you know, you're like 10 minutes into it. And so I applied, and I forgot about it. And I wasn't even all that clear about what I was applying for. I knew that it was a monthly stipend, and I remember saying $1,000 a month. And so I applied for it, and I forgot about it. And so what the program is there's a pilot that I believe was initiated by the University of Pennsylvania, where they are running an experiment to see what people are able to do to improve their lives if they have an extra $1,000 a month with no strings attached. So one of the great things about the LA County Breathe program is that it goes for 3 years, which means that you don't have to go, oh, I have to rush because this money's not going to be coming in very much longer. And also, you don't have to justify any of your purchases. So that means that I'm able to make a financial move on something that could make a big difference for me and my business without having to consult with anybody or just to spend time and energy trying to figure out a way to justify the purchase, etc. So, like I said, it's $1,000 a month, and it goes for 3 years, and then they're basically monitoring and seeing what kinds of improvements people are able to make in their lives overall.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the theory. And I hear conservatives all the time talking about, oh, you just give people money and they're gonna go smoke crack and go get go to bars and stuff. But actually, this kind of universal basic income program has been tried in Stockton, tried in Compton, LA County, LA City. And the data that we have so far, I don't know that we have the data yet from the county or the city, but the data that we have from Stockton and other places where it's been tried show just the opposite. People are catching up on bills that they've been behind on. They're investing in their business, as you said, or their children, many times getting their children enrichment classes that middle class and rich kids get all the time, but most low-income children do not have access to. The simple things that we want our kids to do, science camp or piano lessons or whatever it might be. They're getting clothing and fixing their cars so that they can get or keep jobs. That's what we see so far. So what did you find yourself investing in or doing?
Well, there were a few things. So one small thing that I just got was some musical notation software. So it's, like I said, a small thing, but I got an email saying that it was on sale, and if I had a certain code, I could get a discount. If I hadn't been receiving the LA County Breathe program money, I may not have investigated that. That was just like a week ago. And I knew that the software was something like $300. Well, because I was getting the money, I thought, well, let me see what this really costs. And basically, just like you print out some information or you can type it and it looks a lot better, you can do the same thing with musical notation. And this software allows me not only to keep better records of my music and my arrangements of other people's music and my own, but it also allows me to look more professional when I'm, say I want to hire a bass player to record a song. I can hand him the notation that's, been printed. So I investigated, and not only did I find that I could get this $20 discount, I found that there was a deep discount for educators, music educators, and I was eligible for that. So I ended up paying $80 for something that I thought was going to be $300, and the only reason I investigated is because I had this money coming in every month. On the other end, there have been several things. On the bigger end, I had a car. I called him Raggedy Andy. He was a Toyota Corolla. I got him new 28 years ago. And like Raggedy Andy, he was well-loved, but cosmetically not in the best of shape at this point. And I knew that in order for me to charge what I'm worth with my clients, that showing up in that car was not going to be something favorable for me. And I thought to myself, well, you know, he's been a great car, and he's been practical for me, especially through the illness. I never had to take him to the shop except for services and tune-ups and stuff like that. It's been an awesome car, but he does not look good. So I'm going to wait for a sign that tells me that I have to get a new car now and that it's good time and that somehow I can pay for it. So last August, I went to the shop with Raggedy Andy 5 times after almost nothing for years and years and years and years. And the first couple of times I was like, okay, yeah, I know you're getting older and all those rubber parts that burn out are burning out and need to be replaced. But I'm going to hang in there with you. And then by the third and fourth time, I was like, I wonder if this is my sign. And then by the fifth time going to the shop, and my mechanic, my lovely mechanic, had retired a week before the first time I went to the shop. So by the fifth time, I thought, okay, Uncle, I surrender. I will do this somehow. And one of the things about the Breathe program was that not only did I have some money coming in that made me feel better about having a car payment again, but I felt comfortable enough with my coach at the Breathe program to ask him for help. I called him. I said, hey, here's my situation. If you know anything about cars that might be available, I'm looking for a used car that's presentable. Let me know. I ended up getting the car through other means. I leased a car. I was advised that if I leased a car, then all the leasing payments that I made during that leasing period would go towards the principal of the car should I decide to purchase it, which was my plan anyway. But during that time of making lease payments, all that money would go towards the principal of the car without any interest being paid. So I was able to do that, and I was able to do that without freaking out and going, oh, no, I wonder what this is going to look like in 6 months. Am I going to have a problem paying the car note? And like I said, you know, the Breathe program really, really changed my attitude about that and made me feel comfortable about investing in the car.
Well, congrats. You got a new ride. We've got news, traffic, and sports. And then after that, we'll continue our conversation with Kip Kalia, LA County Breathe recipient, that, of course, being the Universal Basic Income Program implemented by Supervisor Holly Mitchell and the LA County supervisors in order to provide support, as Kalia Miss Kalia has outlined, for random people who need an extra $1,000 a month to make a difference in their lives. Find out more about that. We're taking your phone calls. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DePrima when we come forward.
We welcome you on into a Wednesday. I'm Mike Moore. Now, here's the latest from the Black Information Network. Former Vice President Pence and former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie are jumping into the GOP presidential race. Christie announced his candidacy during a town hall event in New Hampshire on Tuesday night. He was once a staunch supporter of former President Trump, but has since soured on Trump's political acumen. Pence is expected to formally announce his candidacy tonight in Iowa. In Pennsylvania, there's still time to sign up for this weekend's Brothers Stroll. The 10th annual event is organized by the Health of Black Men and Boys in Philadelphia. Organizers say the goal is to promote positive health for black men and boys. The annual 5K is set for Saturday. More information can be found online. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Life is uncertain. It's okay to feel stressed, anxious, worried, or frustrated. CalHope can help. Access CalHope's free and secure mental health resources. Call 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
There's been some chatter the past few days that the Miami Heat will have Tyler Hero for Game 3 tonight in the NBA Finals. The Heat confirmed that Hero will not play tonight against the Denver Nuggets. Hero, the Heat's number 3 scorer, is still recovering from surgery to repair 2 broken bones in his right hand. He was injured in the first round in April against Milwaukee. The Heat made it to the finals without Hero. They can afford to wait a little while longer to bring him back. Game 3 tonight in Miami at 5:30 on ABC. Cincinnati gets 3 in the bottom of the 9th for a comeback win against the Dodgers. Buffalo Bills defensive back DeMar Hamlin practiced with the team on Tuesday in off-season workouts. First full practice for Hamlin since his cardiac arrest on January 2nd in a Monday night game. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson. More news, opinions, and conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
Everybody now, make some noise!
Is there a better day of the year to celebrate the anniversary of the only unapologetically progressive talk station west of the Mississippi, focused on issues that impact the black community?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
We think not. A station that amplifies black voices like yours with hosts and guests who look and sound like you. Celebrating our second anniversary on Juneteenth. We're KBLA Talk 1580. And you ain't seen nothing yet.
Hey LA, keep your utility bills low this summer while making your home the cool place to be. LADWP can help you save hundreds with air conditioner and thermostat rebates, plus free energy-efficient home upgrades and simple tips to help you beat the heat and save money. Visit ladwp.com/cool-LA.
The Los Angeles Urban League helps African American and others in underserved communities achieve true social parity, economic self-reliance, and civil rights. For over 100 years, Los Angeles Urban League has ensured our communities have access to careers with living wages, opportunities to start and grow businesses, and clear pathways to personal and professional growth. Programs like BizCamp, Construction Career Academy, Bob Business Ready, and B-Warp. The Black Wealth Attainment and Retention Program are examples of the ongoing events designed to make our centennial mission to rebuild Black Wall Street right here in LA a reality. To sign up for our newsletter or to support the Los Angeles Urban League with your time, talent, and donations, visit laul.org. That's laul.org. The Los Angeles Urban League is a proud sponsor of Urban Family Focus, Saturdays at 7 a.m. on KBLA Talk 1580.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Slash to be in your band.
Next up for lead guitar. You're in.
Cool. Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
Are you looking to steer your career in a new direction? Driving for Culver City Bus can be your ticket to a long-lasting career with excellent benefits and paid training. Culver City Bus is looking for customer service and safety-minded bus operators to join the growing team. Culver City Bus offers on-the-job training starting at $19.10 per hour, uniform allowance, and health benefits. Culver City Bus is a great employer. Let Culver City Bus connect you with an essential service job. If you enjoy driving, thriving, seek real opportunities for career advancement, and passionate about making a difference in the community, and you are invited to join the Culver City Bus team. Start your journey today by submitting an application at culvercity.org/jobs. For more info, visit culvercitybus.com or call live customer service operators at 310-253-6500.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DePrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Man, it is a trip to see what's going on in the headlines. Like, we expect people fighting over LGBT classes and curriculum other places, but not in Southern California. But that's exactly what's happening in Glendale. It's a clash outside of the school board meeting in Glendale on yesterday, and 3 people were arrested. This is all based on the teaching of LGBTQ curriculum, which is actually mandated by the state of California. Actor Cuba Gooding Jr. was about to be in court for rape charges against him, but now that has been averted because he has settled the case out of court at the last minute. It was a lawsuit, woman accusing him of rape, and it looked like they were going to go ahead with the trial that she had been asking for $6 million. They didn't disclose the terms of the settlement, but on the eve of that trial kicking off, a deal was reached. So that will not go to court. The school year is going to be a little longer next year. The union, teachers union and the Los Angeles school officials have made a deal to make the school year a little bit longer, 3 days longer. Doesn't sound like much, but it's meant to help make up for the learning loss during the pandemic. In addition, the teachers union stood up for returning the school break, winter break, was meant to go down to 2 weeks under this new superintendent. Now it will be back at 3 weeks, which for me that's good, but I don't know, for some parents it's different. And the acceleration days, which were somewhat controversial, they were meant to help students who were struggling. Those will come back. Again, it's optional, and it's meant to help young people who are struggling, which many still are, in light of the disastrous remote learning. I talked a lot about how we now have the opportunity to recycle, food scraps. Organic waste is what they call it. Along with your lawn trimmings and stuff in that green bucket, you could put pizza boxes, old food scraps, and that kind of thing. But now the state is saying they want to pause this organic waste recycling program because it's pretty much a failure. I mean, I hate to say that because I was so excited. 60% of our landfill waste is food, old food and stuff, and it would be great to see that recycled. But as it turns out, the instructions aren't clear. Most people don't even have any kind of bin to recycle it into. And as it turns out, there's not a high demand for that recycled compostable waste. So I hate that because it's a fail, but hopefully we'll get it together. That is now what a state panel is recommending, that we stop doing that, because it is not. It was a plan that was apparently not well thought out. There's a big controversy. I don't know if you saw this online. It was about a person that worked at the SoFi Stadium as security who allegedly dumped the contents from the street vendor's cart while the mom went to the bathroom. And apparently it wasn't just one street vendor, the folks that sell the hot dogs on the cart with the grill and all that. Turned that stuff over, threw it on the ground. There was a huge outrage on social media about this. I was actually surprised. A TikTok video that was posted by this activist named Edwin Alex Enamorado really caught on, and people got very upset and the man has been fired from his job at SoFi Stadium. Interesting. It was interesting to me to see how many African American folks were angered by this, considering this was a Latino vendor, and the guy throwing the stuff on the ground was also an African American. But a lot of people stepped up and were quite angry about it. So, breaking news, we'll talk about this more next hour because it's on the national platform. Chris Light, the head of CNN, the new wonder kind of CNN who's supposed to be saving it from ratings doldrums, has been fired. And that, I would say, he can blame Trump for that. Cal State University officials are saying that we're going to be looking at tuition increases at all 23 campuses because they have a shortfall of about $1.5 billion in funding. For undergraduates, they're going to see increases between $200 and $500 in the first year, and then another increase the following year. This is a hardship on students. It is true that those undergrad tuitions remain very low compared to going to school anywhere else. It's about $6,000, but $500 a year is still a lot of money if you're a struggling student. I wish they would trim salaries of some of these high-paid administrators, or maybe just get rid of a few of them. We'll have more conversations on headlines, local and national and international, when we continue the conversation in hour 2. But right now we're talking with Kip Kalia. She is a local musician who has toured nationally. She's taught online and in person, and she has a musical TED Talk, but was hit hard by the pandemic, hit hard by personal hardship with the health issue of parasites, and went on to become a recipient of the BREATHE program. BREATHE program is LA County's version of a universal basic income, something you've heard me many times advocating should be widespread in this country, should be a baseline. I believe we need a baseline. Everyone should have the ability to have a simple basic housing unit and health care, education, and a universal basic income. Now, if you want to go on and get your grind on and work 2 full-time jobs like some of us do, that would be on you. If you have the ability and the skills to do so, good on you. Go ahead and buy, yourself a Bentley or whatever you're trying to get. But for a country as wealthy as ours, especially with the advent of AI, where more and more jobs are going to be automated and it becomes difficult for many people to get by, we got to start looking at concepts like a universal basic income as sort of the toolkit for a humanitarian society where no one falls between the cracks. Kip Kalia was surprised herself when she applied and got this grant. It's a grant, right? Because you get $1,000 a month from the county. You don't have to jump through welfare hoops. You don't have to jump through inspection and second guessing of what you do. And you don't have to pay it back, correct?
Absolutely. And it's also, it's a program where you're not shamed or judged, and it allows you to go ahead and do your best to get back on your feet while retaining some sense of dignity. And for one thing I'd like really to share with people who doubt the validity of programs like this is what I've experienced is that money is comfortable with money. Money calls to money. And if you drop to a certain level financially, it's really hard to get back up. You find yourself feeling stuck and trying to do all the things to survive at the same time as you're trying to figure out ways to thrive. For me, the pivoting point was an illness, and anybody who's been ill for any length of time knows that it's expensive. I went through my savings like a fiend just trying to figure out what was wrong with me. So as far as thriving is concerned, people who are working low-paying jobs are, as you say, taking more than one job and working crazy hours. And you're not in situations where you're around people who could give you maybe not even a helping hand, but the kind of work that could get you in a place where you could then move forward. So I talked about my car, Raggedy Andy, and how he didn't look good for anybody I wanted to present my show to. If I show up with a car that looks raggedy, they're going to think that I'm raggedy. And that wasn't the case. It was some hardship that put me in that position. So the LA County Breathe program is allowing people to get up again without having to justify their spending, and again with a period of time of having that monthly stipend of $1,000 a month, helping them to, relax, focus, prioritize, strategize, things that you can't do if you're working 3 jobs and trying to keep your kids in line and take care of your elderly parents. And, I think very few people really are comfortable with being poor. It sucks. So, we have goals and dreams.
It definitely sucks. Kip Kalia is our guest. We're talking about LA Breathe campaign and also all things Left Coast. 800-920-1580 is the number if you want to join. KBLA, Talk 1580.
The station you turn to when you've had it up to here with cultural incompetence. KBLA Talk 1580.
Sunday, June 18th, come out to Africatown in Leimert Park for the Juneteenth Independence Revolution commemoration. The Independence Revolution will be part of a 3-day weekend to celebrate Juneteenth. Join in the national hashtag Wave of Freedom, where Black people across the country will stand in solidarity to demand reparations for Black American descendants of slavery. Hear from the frontline organizations who are fighting for better conditions for Black LA. Bring your dad to be part of the Honor Thy Fathers ceremony, which will acknowledge dozens of Black fathers in the community. See performances from some of LA's top local artists. Shop with a variety of local Black merchants selling food, clothes, art, and more. The Juneteenth Independence Revolution is a free event for the entire family. Sunday, June 18th from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m., come to Africatown in Leimert Park to celebrate Black Independence Day. The Juneteenth Independence Revolution is brought to you by Africatown Enterprise, the African Village Vendors Association at Leimert Park, Black Lives Matter LA, Downtown Crenshaw, and Destination Crenshaw.
Tina Turner's hometown to build a statue in her honor. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News. On May 24, news spread of the death of the queen of rock and roll, Tina Turner, who died at 83 years old. Turner's representatives say she died of natural causes after long illness. The mayor of Tina's hometown has since revealed plans to build a statue in honor of Turner. Bill Rawls Jr., mayor of Brownsville, reveals his hope to have the sculpture placed in Heritage Park near the high school Tina attended as a teenager. She was born in the same town in 1939. Rest in peace to the queen of rock and roll, Tina Turner. I'm Maisha Cairo for KBLA Talk 1580, and that's your K-Black Minute News. If you're a business owner or lead a nonprofit that's between 26 and 49 employees, please listen. Lendistry is proud to announce a new program whereby small businesses and nonprofits may qualify for reimbursement of COVID sick leave expenses incurred in 2021 or 2022. This program is administered by the California Office of the Small Business Advocate. Eligibility criteria apply and funding is limited. For more information, visit COVID covidpaidsick.com. If you're a business owner or lead a nonprofit that has between 26 and 49 employees, please listen. Lendistry is proud to announce a new program whereby small businesses and nonprofits may qualify for reimbursement of COVID sick leave expenses incurred in 2021 or 2022. This program is administered by the California Office of the Small Business Advocate. For more information, visit covidpaidsick.com.
We knew you'd stick around. This is LA's home for progressive talk radio. Welcome back to KBLA Talk 1580.
Talking with Kip Kalia. She is a musician, an artist, and a teacher who has been a recipient of LA County Breathe program, which is the universal basic income experiment of the County of Los Angeles. And I know this was you were the initial pilot, I guess, program for this. Do you know if they're going to be doing this again?
I believe that they're hoping to, and that the media coverage that they're working to get is towards that end to keep the program going.
Yeah, I mean, to me, you heard me. I feel like this should be in every county in the United States, all the time, always, in perpetuity.
I agree. I wanted to share something else with you, which is that when I found out that I had been chosen for the Breathe program, what I was not expecting is that I would be assigned a coach. So the county has partnered with the SBCC, which is Strength-Based Community Change, which is an LA County organization, a nonprofit, and they are the administrators of the program and basically our liaison between recipients and LA County. And with my coach, his name is Brian Arredondo, I am getting all kinds of benefits that I hadn't expected. They don't just give you the money and hang you out to dry. They have workshops on budgeting and credit repair and investing. And these, I believe, are all aspects of the SBCC just on an ongoing basis. But it's amazing. I mean, I'm one of those people who can squeeze a dollar out of a dime. But for those people who are not that great with financial stuff, they have some place to go to improve their skills on that level and be able to manage the income in a way that will benefit them. So they've got also after-school programs, tutoring for kids during the school year and during the summers. They have a counseling program for like therapy, a doula program. There's a lot of stuff there. And one of the big programs that they have is to direct and guide community groups in whatever they aspire to do. Like, for instance, maybe somebody wants to put together a community garden and they don't know who to talk to make that happen. The SBCC has something like 120 community action groups that they're running throughout the county. So that's been a great help for me to have someone that I can call for, instead of feeling like, oh, LA County, I'll never end up speaking to human beings. I feel really comfortable calling Brian for just about anything, and he does his best to help. So
that's awesome. Really, I mean, without the judgy part too, right? So a lot of times when you're asking for help, you get a lecture, and nobody wants that. Kip Kalia is our guest. When we come forward, I want to get your kind of overall thoughts about your experience and I mean, look, your pitch, maybe some county officials, maybe some funders are listening as to why this ought to continue. That's next on KBLA Talk 1580.
Say the quiet part out loud. KBLA Talk 1580.
The pandemic may be over, but many Angelinos could be at risk of losing the place they call home. It's important to know your rights as a residential renter in the city of LA. Did you know eviction protection still exists for unpaid COVID-19 rental debt that was due before March 31st, 2023? And that you have 5 days to respond to an eviction notice, also known as an unlawful detainer. Learn more about your rental rights at housing.lacity.org. Be informed, be protected, be at home.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about. KBLA Talk 1580 joins you in standing for education as a right, not a privilege. Charles R. Drew University of Medicine and Science is a private, non-profit, community-founded, student-centered university committed to cultivating diverse health profession leaders who are dedicated to social justice and health equity for underserved populations. CDU does this through outstanding education, clinical service, and community engagement. Recently, Charles Drew University made history by opening only the 5th medical school at an historically black university. Congratulations, South LA, and congratulations to the dean of the medical school, Dr. Deborah Protho-Stith. CDU is now training doctors and providing $90 million in annual economic benefit to Watts and surrounding neighborhoods. To apply for medical school, get more information, or sign your child up for the Junior Doctors Saturday School program, visit cdrewu.edu. That's cdrewu.edu. At KBLA, we are dedicated to equity in education and ending healthcare apartheid, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Here are 3 ways to commemorate Juneteenth from AARP. 1. Learn the full history. Juneteenth was the end of slavery, but there's more. Begin by learning the whole story. 2. Celebrate. Celebrating our freedom should be a party with a purpose, with family, friends, fellowship, and oh yeah, food. 3. Support black-owned business. In 1865, we had little to nothing, but as a people, we've been richly blessed. Express your gratitude by supporting our black-owned businesses.
What would you call a joy that is as solemn as it is sweet and knows no bounds? A joy that's beautifully rooted in soul and resilience. This is Black Joy, a joy that reflects pride and honor despite every challenge. AARP believes the power of Black joy is limitless, and we celebrate this joy supreme. Join us in celebrating Black joy at aarp.org/Black community.
Heard any other talk radio lately that sounds anything like this?
We didn't think so.
You're listening to Unapologetically Progressive KBLA Talk 1580.
Kip, Kalia, do you want to give us your social media or your website or something in case people want to, tap in for music lessons or find out about the TED Talk? And also just give you these couple minutes here to give your pitch about why the LA County Breathe program should continue.
Okay, so I am still working on that website, but it's up there, and it's KipKaliaMusic.com. I think that's the best way to reach me. And there's a phone number there, and you can leave your contact info, and I'll get back to you. As far as the pitch is concerned, I want to tell people that there are smart, capable, diligent people right here in LA County without the connections and or the knowledge of available resources here who want to work but are up against financial barriers that make it hard for them to connect with people who have those jobs or the money or whatever. You just cannot make the kind of impression that you need to make on people with some ability to help you change your life when you're in a certain position. So the LA County Breathe program, guaranteed income program, allows you to cover some of those bases and allows you to present yourself in a way that makes you more accessible to growth and financial power.
All right. Well, I really appreciate you sharing your story with us this morning, Kip Kalia, and I hope to see you one day on a stage somewhere.
Yeah. We'll work that out.
With one of your many musical projects. And I'm glad the Breathe, LA County Breathe program is working for you. It's great to hear a success story.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's Prince's birthday. Tupac is getting his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. It is Gemini season, y'all, and we are also in a Wealth Building Wednesday. All that's coming up. KBLA, Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
We welcome you on into a President Pence and former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie are jumping into the GOP presidential